Yeah. Bro code.
Bro code, we in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. We in that mode, you know if we got a problem, we pull up in that jail. Fit for all of my bros, collected like the colors in the rainbow. All of that talking you did on the net, we know that you only did it for a pose. If I pull up then I get in the tank, I need me like 500K for a show, or maybe more. And I got all of the stars in the ceiling cause we in a row. Yeah, just for the bros, brothers forever, so you know we got each other back. We aiming for gold, sticking together, tell us about the weather, we never slack. Gotta stick to the code. Bro code, we in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. They know we own. Take off, we gone. Diamond, two-tone. This is another episode of
Shouts out to all of our supporters. Thank y'all so much for following us.
Thank you.
Keeping up with us. Like, we are so honored and privileged for
Keep hitting that subscribe
our fans.
button.
Yes, thank you so much. We're back again with another episode to just talk about, just casually talk about
Casual
just a
conversation.
random conversation, right? But before we get into our topic, I want to introduce our guests, all right? First, and somebody I met on the scene of my first debut of acting.
You acting, AC? You acting?
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I was on the set, and I didn't even know she was part of the set. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, she came in with character and everything like that. And I'm
Giving
like,
it to us.
wow. And she was like, I'm the grandma. And I'm like, so shouts out to Miss Alone.
Yeah.
For blessing our bro.
Thank you for
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us and being part of this conversation that we're about to have tonight. Our second guest, I have the privilege of working with this young man. I'm actually really impressed with him and how he carries himself, who he is. He actually dropped some nuggets to me of what he does outside of work. And I'm like, whoa. And actually what he does outside of work actually is kind of related to what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. He's a podcaster. He has a huge following. So I want to introduce my brother, Barry Linwood Bynes.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. You know, on the Bro Code, I can't do anything but say I'm honored that you guys had me here today.
Yep. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here.
So what we finna talk about, AC?
Let's get to the meat potatoes.
Let's get into it. So I'll be honest with you. So this topic right here, it's like, it's so open-ended, right? And I feel like, you know, we need to talk about it, right? Because I think we all have aspirations, we all have goals. Mm-hmm. And one of our goals, most of our goals, is to have a life with somebody else, right?
Okay.
You know, and before I picked this topic tonight, it was a conversation that Barry and I had in the shop, at the job. And we talked about it. And, you know, so I was like, you know what? This is a good topic to have. You know, so our topic today is, what questions should be asked when considering marriage or a serious relationship? Ooh. What questions? What questions should be asked? You know, like what things should we be talking about before saying, okay, I'm gonna be in a serious relationship or marriage?
Yeah.
So not the surface stuff of what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
No. We're not talking about what you bring to the table.
Deeper than that.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, like, Barry did a good job. He was like, because, you know, he knew my situation, right? You know, going through, you know, being married, going through a divorce and everything like that. He was like, AC, bro, like, so tell me, like, what's the benefit of being married,
Right.
right? You know, and that's a common question. Like, what is the benefit?
Yeah,
you know?
and just speaking on that, you know, me personally, I've been in many relationships, I've been in many situationships, and it's got to the point where, you know, when I was younger, I wanted that family. You know, I wanted the kids, I wanted a stable life home, just something I could come home to, breakfast, dinner, you know, a clean bed, all that type of stuff. But me being a bachelor now, and yes, I still, you know, converse with, you know, partners, but now that I'm at this age, it's like, I don't know, I wanted it so bad in my younger years. You know, I wanted it so bad, but now that I'm older, it's like, is it just me that I just don't see what I'm looking for in another woman? Because to me, women are the most beautiful creatures on this planet Earth, if you ask me.
True.
But when it comes to my personal situation, like AC had brought up, it's like, you know, a lot of women want marriage. And shout out to everyone who's married, I don't knock you for it, but I really want to know, and I'd love to hear from y'all as well, like what benefit?
How old are you?
I'm 36.
You still young, man.
Yeah, you
but-
a baby.
So I'll say this, right? So I think one benefit of being married is
let me say
having
this.
kids.
So give me a benefit without bringing the government into your bedroom. Why do we need to bring the government into your bedroom?
Whew, that's hard because the government gonna be in the bedroom regardless.
Hey, they say,
But you know, I think
exactly.
Right.
You're right.
That mattress, that pillow. But no, I think the biggest benefit for people who get married is having kids, right? And for men specifically, it's that legacy, right? As men, we always say, building a legacy. That's why a lot of men, when they get married, they want to have a boy.
Right.
They carry on that last name. So they can groom them. Hey, this is what, you know, the standard is. This is where direction you need to go in. So I think having kids is the biggest thing.
So cool. So cool. As your homeboy, right? As your homeboy, you know the respect that we got for each other, right? Like, does it take marriage to have kids?
So that was leading into my next point, right?
Okay.
So for me, as a 19-year-old who had kids, I didn't see a benefit of getting married.
Were you married? Okay, all right.
Okay.
At 19 years old, college student, I had 2 kids. Like, I got kids early. What am I get married for? Because honestly, by the time you get married at 20, 30, 40 years old, not a government is in your bedroom.
Right, but like he
because
said
when we get
earlier-
divorced, let's get half.
Yeah,
Or
but like he said earlier,
let's get 3/4.
You're young. We're young at that time.
Right, we are.
You know, we don't know what we want.
We don't.
So I don't know. Are you married? Okay,
No.
so I'm the only one.
You made that face like that.
I'm gonna let you go.
No. I gotta go ahead. What do you want to say?
So being the only one married, so I know we saying married, right? But what about just how you want to say just like 100% commitment?
Right.
Because the only thing like what marriage gives you is it makes it more difficult to back out.
Okay.
Right. So if you're not married, then you can be like, man, shoot, I'm out, gone.
Right.
Gone. Right. If you're married and everything is intermingled and entwined, you can't just jump up.
So I'd love to hear.
Shouldn't.
You shouldn't, because you could.
I mean, yeah, you can, but you shouldn't.
Right.
Okay, so you
That should be a little bit more pause, more thought.
You can, but it's gonna be a lot more consequences.
Right. So
Just
to the question is like, to his question is like, what's the benefit?
Oh, I got a lot of benefits.
Okay, so
The
here's my
benefits
thing,
of
and I'd
getting
love to
married.
hear from Alone, because you said, you know, it's hard to get out. Now, me, and maybe it's because I'm younger. I mean, maybe it's just who I am, but 36, you know, I'm an 80s baby. You know, I grew up, I didn't have a biological father in my house. My mom raised me how to be a man. She taught me how to be a man. Thank God that my stepfather came in at the age that he did and taught me how to be a man. So I look at him as my father.
Right.
But what you were saying as far as it makes it harder to leave, I look at it like, if I really love you and you really love me and we know we love each other, we can have the reception. I'll get you that diamond ring. We can have kids, we can do all that. But why do I have to sign a piece of paper?
Yeah.
That's just my one thing. I don't. And is it just because of a tax break?
Well, you can call it common law too. You can just live together, and then some places say it's common law. Common law marriage.
Yeah, I think because I'm a tad bit, just a tad bit older, and in a woman's perspective, we look at security,
Right.
being protected, all of those kind of good things. I am single now, but at this point in my life, I look for companionship.
Right.
I wouldn't mind being married because I think where the security comes in is that God forbid anything happens, that I have that partner who thought of what my life or our life would look like
Right.
together.
So you're
whether
saying
he's
if
there or
anything were
not.
to happen to you, that person would get ownership over.
Well,
or
the beneficiary,
The beneficiary.
yeah.
But now you can do that with attorney of lawyers.
So
You can
that's one of the questions I wanted to ask is, you know, when you do consider marriage, and this is probably a very important question to ask, how do you handle change and the unexpected? Because you understand, like,
question.
in relationships, things are going to change.
Absolutely.
That's-
right. Everybody
Especially
goes
with the
into
time.
it
Exactly.
like, I'm going into
Time.
it with
Exactly.
this, and this is my expectations. But how do you handle the unexpected?
I'll speak on that one, and I'm gonna agree with what Rico said. Basically, that's when you know number one, what you signed up for.
Right.
Okay, like I've been married before, so basically, and I tell people this all the time: when you get married, you know, when you get in arguments, when you get in fights, ain't no send them home. Like you gotta lay next to this person all night long, and they don't make you mad. I'm saying, but you gotta find out deep within inside to realize, okay, I married this person. And we stood at the altar. It said, you know,
To
through
death
sickness,
do
through
us
health,
part.
through good,
Right.
good and bad.
Right.
I said yes to all that
Right.
stuff. Okay, I'm saying.
Wait,
So you
hold on. I gotta stop you because Alone had some mannerisms that made me say, like, what
Yeah.
you want to say? So hold on. I want to let Alone speak on that.
I want him to finish that.
I want him to finish.
Yeah, 'cause you said through sickness and
Right.
health.
So basically, okay, so I think one of the biggest problems with that, a lot of people say those vows, but they don't know how serious it is when it actually happens. Okay? Because like being married before, you know, through sickness and the health, through the good and the bad, it was times when I was like, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to think about, okay, you know what? I stood before God and I said, I couldn't do this. Okay, so those vows, a lot of people don't take them serious when you should take them serious. That's why, you know, one of the things that I'm saying, we know when you communication is so important to me because I ask a million questions. Most people are like, man, you trying to talk my ear off. No, I gotta know what I'm getting myself into. So when I put this ring on your finger, I already know what I'm signing up for.
Right.
So if you got health, listen, if you got health issues, you know what I'm saying, whether it's good right now and we on top of it, what's gonna happen when it get bad?
So do me this favor. I want to let Alone speak on this right here. You know, because we got 4
You're
brothers.
right.
We got
Ladies first.
So I want to give you an opportunity to speak on that right there.
I did all of that before God, you know. But at what point is enough?
Okay.
Right?
Good question.
So the reason I say that is because I felt like I feel like women, even though we do the good, the bad, the health problems, the financial problems, all of that kind of good stuff, puts a strain on the situation, especially early on.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying about
and that 5-year or
vows.
7-year itch
Right.
or whatever. But when you meet your maximum, because it doesn't change, you're just going to keep saying, it'll get better, or I'll do better, or it'll change, and it doesn't.
Okay. So
Where do you go from there?
you feel that way, but so if the shoe is flipped, should the
vice versa.
man feel the same way?
Absolutely.
Okay, because see, that's my
No,
point.
no.
So here's my thing with that.
I'm just saying
I'm thinking
in
never
general.
like
one side of that
Here's
thing.
my
both
thing with that.
sides.
Yeah.
I feel like me personally. I mean, I guess it's me. So I have to say it like this right here. With me, basically, I try to make sure that I cover all areas before I just give up on it. Okay, if we fussing and fighting all the time, okay, baby, you know what? Seems like we got an issue. Let's go see somebody.
Right.
Okay, you can't sit here and say, well, you know what? The reason why I'm mad is because you keep doing this. Okay, well then maybe we need to go sit down and listen to somebody because maybe it ain't just me. It may be something you happened in your past that when I do something as simple as leave the top off the toothpaste, it triggers that.
Leave the toilet seat
so
up.
basically, we're saying counseling. Do we seek counseling first? Okay, then like I tell people all the time, when you get into an argument,
the biggest thing you want to do every time you get in an argument is prove your point. Okay, me, what I do, okay, if I get in an argument with somebody, okay, you know what, let's take a break from this. But while I'm away from it, I'm thinking about, okay, I know my point.
Right.
But then I'm thinking about it from your point of view.
Right.
So when we come back, we can meet in the middle, and then we can move on from that.
So you've been, if you don't mind me asking, you've been married twice?
Once.
Oh, really? So are you still married?
No.
Oh, well, damn.
We
yeah.
did this.
Okay. All right. So you had said with this person, you decided death do us part, sickness through health, and you took a vow before God. Not only that, but her father gave you to her. You were her full-time responsibility. Could you have done that without signing a piece of paper to the government? And what's wrong with not doing that? If y'all
okay, so here's my question to you then, because I keep hearing you saying that. So if you're doing it without a piece of paper, is it really marriage?
I think if you love someone enough, if like, baby, I love you, I'm not worried about it.
Then that's not marriage, it's a commitment. Okay, basically it's considered marriage if there's a license for it.
It's a business, right?
I'm saying, no, what makes it a business?
Because you have to pay for that.
Like she mentioned earlier.
It's on paper now.
It's on paper.
Once it's over,
and then divorce court.
Thank you. Not only that, it costs more.
Divorce court, lawyers.
I don't look at it as a business. I look at it as both of us basically making a full-time commitment. So if it costs to do that, you serious, I'm serious, we're gonna do the cost.
Right.
Okay, if it don't work out, that's an investment we both made. Okay, now we gotta pay the cost for us to separate. Right. Okay, so I don't look at the money part of it. I always look at the commitment part of it.
So let me ask you, do you believe that marriage is work? It's like it's almost like
okay, so
I'm saying
marriage is. Listen, one thing I tell people all the time. Marriage is a lot of work.
Okay, so hold on, pause right there.
I know that from my stepmom and my mom. It's a lot of work.
So it's a lot of work, right? And people right now, Dr. Cooper is an example, right? You go to school, you learn these things to be able to do a certain job, to work, right? So I really feel, me included, right? When I got married, 30 years old, right? 29. And so, you know, was I truly prepared for marriage? No. Did I get in trouble?
You never prepared.
But the thing about it is that a lot of people jump into marriage and they think, oh, it's a cool thing or it's whatever, right? But we don't get the proper, I'm gonna say training, right? Maybe that's training.
There's no book for it.
Ain't
no book for none of it.
Maybe it's training from your father and mother together, right? They're showing you something, right? I didn't have that, right? Yeah. So that kind of gives you that blueprint. And so without that blueprint, me personally, I jump in a couple of years, I'm used to being single, right? So I jump into marriage, I'm doing the same old stuff that I was doing when I was single. Got caught up, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, and I admit to it, right? And so I think people before they, you know, that's why people are married 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. See,
that's
right?
crazy.
And so the thing is that do they truly know what they're getting into when you say, I'm about to get married and I'm committed to this person, right? So it needs to be, hey, we really need to step back, and you need more than going to the church and having premarital counseling. It needs to be something that's longer so you can truly be with that person and say, hey, is this something that we want to do?
Well, the crazy thing, you're saying that let me give you an example of having kids. Mm-hmm. You don't go to school, you don't know the steps or anything of raising a baby or having a baby or making a baby. You know,
there's no book for it.
There's no book for it. However, you
there's
did
parenting classes. There's a lot of parenting classes and stuff like that.
Well, they say the best teacher is life.
Right.
They say the best teacher is life.
That's why
experience.
So then,
exactly.
Then should there be classes for marital situations?
Well, yeah, there's premarital, right? Because like
okay, I did premarital.
I mean, so but that's why I say that's a little bit. That's only a little bit. So maybe
that 4 weeks, so that's 6 weeks.
So maybe certain people need to expand upon that, right? If you don't have your parents in the house that you've seen since you was a child, right? Mm-mm. Maybe you don't have an aunt or uncle or something, right? Yeah. But I don't know what the answer is, but me personally, maybe if I saw more.
Well, were you?
So a lot of people don't have that visual, that image of parents, you know, and they can model that. So a lot of us do not have that.
So let me say this. So even if we did have that, like perfect example, me. I grew up in a house with 2-parent household, mom, dad, and I grew up my whole entire life, right? Mm-hmm. It probably was the worst experience I ever had in life, right?
Worst?
Because everybody's not made to be married.
Right.
That's right.
And they don't understand that when they're married, right? Because they're so caught up in how their parents were. We're together through the good, the bad, thick and thin, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, you know what? we don't work together.
Yep.
We like oil and water.
Isn't that's okay to say though, right?
Right, but they don't think that it is. It's okay to say, baby, we don't work together. I love you as a person. I think you're awesome. But as a couple,
it don't work.
We don't
now,
work.
Let me ask you this.
Let's go our separate ways and still be able to be amicable.
Exactly. Now, let's say y'all did work for 3 years.
Right.
Okay, baby, let's get married on the 3rd year. Now, that 4th year comes, then you're like, baby, we ain't starting to mix. You know what I mean? So now it's like, that's just my point of view. And I'm not.
So let me tell you why that happens. Let me tell you why that happens.
That's gonna happen with any relationship.
No, exactly.
And that's why.
Because listen, during those 3 years, okay, we good because guess what? There's nothing that's locking us into this.
The government.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing locking us into
that
this.
Paper's
okay. Now listen. Now the thing about it is now that 4th year. Okay. Now the little thing that you used to do that made me mad that I used to look over.
Right.
Now it's getting worse. So now my mindset is like. It's still making me mad, but I can't leave because this, and it's gonna take more for me to get out of it. When it was simple, I could have just walked away from it.
So that's what I'm saying. So then, what's the point?
Okay, so here's my thing. Let me say this. Okay, so to me, one of the key things about being married is I don't care. There's no book about it. There's no matter how much counseling you go through. I'm saying you can ask people. I know people be married 50, 40, 60 years. Okay, they're gonna tell you. Okay, one of the main things you got to know how to do when it comes to marriage is know how to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to learn to sacrifice. Okay, it's some things that you're gonna have to basically, okay, I married this woman. She ain't the best cook, but guess what? I knew that when I married her. Okay, so you have to sacrifice stuff like that. Okay.
So what you gonna do? Go to McDonald's every night?
No. Consistent.
You sit in the parking lot.
You go get a cooking lesson.
Right, thank you.
Y'all cook together.
So you alter around that. Okay, my baby ain't the best cooker, but guess what? You know what, baby? You know what? No, it's some things you like. You cook. I like some things you don't. So I tell you what. I know how to cook certain things, so let me cook a couple things. But then let's take this cooking class together, so we both can cook.
I got
together.
you. So I want to ask 2 questions. I'm gonna ask the question, but I want to ask 2 people the question. Okay, and I'm gonna start with Rico. All right, Rico, when do you feel the most love by your wife?
I would say when she knows me so well now, like she'll do stuff for me. I won't say to save me time or whatever. If she sees something's bothering me or frustrating me, she may go ahead and do something and say, hey, baby, you ain't got to worry about this because I already did it. Right. And it could be many different things. Right. You know, so, but us as a couple, we try to take things off each other's plate. Yeah. Right? If she knows
lightening that load, right?
Because sometimes, you know, like I said, we were just talking about how, you know, men, we try to carry a lot, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to, but then if she jumps in there and say, baby, I'm going to take this over.
Help me.
Right? Yeah. Like for me,
help me.
Like I told you, like for me, like I'm good at the making money part, right? But then I hate paying bills, like for whatever.
Me and you the same people.
So I will go out on a limb and I will say, because we had a conversation, like that's one advantage of being married. That's one advantage of being married. Somebody kind of lightening the load for you. That's
can you not do that with someone that loves you? That
I got you.
Can you not do the same exact thing?
Okay, so I understand where you at. So I was waiting on this because every time you say that, I've been trying to be patient with it. But I'm gonna say this. So the one of the benefits of that piece of paper is when you dead and gone. Okay, you don't want to leave that person in a predicament where if you got kids or cousins or brothers or sisters or family members who basically waited for you to die. I don't want to sign like that, but I'm gonna be real. We keep it real on bro code. Okay. But basically, ready for you to pass on, they already know, okay, she ain't married to him.
Devil's advocate Will.
I was about to say, anyways around there. Will, beneficiary.
You put some paperwork in place for that.
Paperwork trump everything around here.
Go ahead. Listen, let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest.
I get what you're saying.
We don't think about no will. Listen.
I had my will. I promise you, I had my will since 31.
Okay, but listen.
My mama
okay.
had hers at 18.
Listen, that's cool, but everybody don't think like that.
Right.
Okay.
why are we generalizing everybody?
So when you enjoying life with somebody, okay, they automatically think, okay, you know what? If something happened to my baby, I'm taking care of him right now while he's sick. Okay. If he passed on, these 3 cars that he got in the driveway, they mine. Okay, but guess what? Okay, guess what? When you pass on, the first thing they're looking for is some kind of marriage certificate or something that's basically proving that you did all that work.
Yeah,
okay.
That
if
sounds
you
like
don't have that,
minority issue.
I was going to say,
That's a minority issue. That's because we don't.
What happens if you don't have that? What happens if you
That's
don't
a
have that?
conversation between you and the partner. Like, look, man.
And listen, I'm confused on all. Like, I'm ignorant to this topic. I have no clue. That's why I'm here for.
If you got kids and your kids might not have never seen you a day in your life, they got mad because you were the best father in the world and they went on in the world. Right. So as you pass on and they see all the stuff you had left and they know for a fact you ain't walked down the aisle and married this woman, the first thing they come up, you know what, that's my dad's stuff, you weren't married to him, so what makes that yours?
See, here's how
Again, that's paperwork. And I've been in that situation.
Everybody don't think about it like that.
That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody doesn't have that same mentality. You have some people that, me personally, I think if you are willing to live the rest of your life
with one person,
that means that person should love you unconditionally. I mean, regardless of any ramifications that may come between that relationship, baby, I love you. I love you. You love me. Okay, cool. We can take it to. We don't have to get married. We don't have to sign a will. I mean, but you could have my power of attorney when I die, and I could have your power of attorney. So you decide my car goes here, my car goes here. Because like you said, taking the kids away, it costs more money to get divorced than it does to get married.
I'm going through it.
I mean,
y'all see what I'm going through.
My ultimate thing, bottom line is what I'm saying is if y'all truly are in love and y'all know y'all are on this earth for each other, why bring a third person into our bedroom?
Marriage is a covenant to a higher being, really.
So, okay, what do you say to someone who's not religious then? A person who's not religious. Like, what do you say to a person who doesn't believe in higher religion?
Government, I guess.
So, Bear, I want you to answer this question right here. Complete the sentence, Bear. I feel most comfortable sharing my feelings with my partner when she. I feel most comfortable sharing my feelings with my partner when she
loves me. Loves me.
Love is not enough, oh?
The crazy thing is
so to take what you said a step further, right?
I'm not gonna be with no chick if I don't know you love me,
right,
bro? If you knew the chick, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But to take it a step further, right?
That's my question. That was going to be my question.
This is what we're going to be able to help Barry.
Right.
This is what we're going to be able to help Barry.
So let's see what she got to say.
No, that was going to be my question. What does love got to do with it?
So that can come in many different forms, right? So
because you can love somebody and not be in love with somebody.
Okay, so then you're right. I should have said if she's in love with me. You're right. I agree with you there. I agree.
Respect you.
I mean,
respect.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's part of it, right?
That's it.
So
respect.
To take a little bit further, what you said, right? You with somebody, y'all together, y'all love each other, care about each other. She's going to do what your wishes are, right?
Right.
So your thought, your comment about the kids and you got this materialistic stuff, XYZ. How's it gonna be divvied up? If he says, "Look, baby, this is what I want you to do," right? Because he's going to already have his will in place.
If she loves me enough, she's going to follow my wishes.
Exactly. She's going to execute that even though he is not here physically, because that's what he wanted, because she loves him and she wants to honor him and do what he says.
We're talking.
So wait a minute. Now what happens? His mother come in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. Again, the will's there.
Paperwork trump everything.
Don't say her say the lawyer. Then whoever, right? Whoever it is, it's on paper at that point. Like when you have that will and you go to do the probate stuff, you got to do what's in the will.
True statement.
Yes, facts.
But if they're locked in, like he's saying they locked in, that's already going to be covered between them two as partners.
And not only
so the lawyer just going to be executing what's already been agreed
Well, see,
upon.
it ain't the way I'm looking at it is if I'm with someone, again, like I said, if we truly love each other, then my mama if my mama don't ride with you, I ain't rocking with you. So mama,
Well, I'm just speaking in general, not
Just
yours.
period.
Not
Because
yours
mama still be trying to swoop in.
That's why I'm at, Barry.
My baby boy ain't let me out.
And regardless, so it just prolongs the situation longer.
Right.
Even if you have the will, you know, even though that trumps it.
Again, paperwork.
She can't swoop in when that paperwork is there.
That paperwork process,
they can't do nothing.
But if they're not married, that's the thing.
But as long as that will says
Right.
that this is
trumps
going to so and so, and
don't matter.
Now that she get in that house before.
But okay, but what if
get rid of it or something like that. Now,
and like you had said earlier, you said you asked her, what if the foot was on the other side? Like, what if I die first? You know, I trust her. I know she loves me enough to say, okay, he would want this car to go here. You know, or if she dies first, you know, okay, she wants that purse to go here. And of course, I'm going to honor her family. I'm going to say, hey, this is what she would ask me to do, so I'm just going to run it through y'all. And
Take the wheel and file.
Who are you to say this what she wanted?
But see, that's what I'm saying.
You was just somebody that she could have replaced.
Listen, if my mom and my stepdad, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna marry you.
I'm gonna check.
Or I'm not gonna.
But a lot of things happen when funerals and
Yes,
death
dude, I have seen
occur.
a lot.
I mean, it's
It gets crazy. So he wants me to repeat the question, and it actually wasn't a question. So I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Hey, so complete the sentence.
I'm gonna repeat it.
Complete the sentence, all right?
Oh, ready for this one.
Complete the sentence.
Okay.
He would think about it.
Complete the sentence. You ready? Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
ready. I'm waiting on you.
I feel you feel most comfortable sharing your feelings with your partner when she does what?
Emotionally and mentally listens.
You sound like me.
That's a good one.
Wait, hold on.
But isn't that the same
been
thing as
taking-
being
you
in
been
love?
taking- you been
That
taking
sounds
love
like
from
being
me.
in love to me.
Listen.
You ain't been
Because
taking
all,
notes from me.
listen, all this that y'all saying makes no difference if she ain't listening to you. She can respect you all day long. She can love you all day long. Okay, but if you sharing your heart and she's not listening to what you're saying, I ought to go out the window.
I think being receptive is the key.
I agree.
I think communication
I think
is
that's
the
part of
key.
being in love.
If that communication ain't,
communication
there
is key.
is going to be,
Nothing?
right, absolutely. But being receptive, being able to listen
Yes.
is
Listen to
it
understand,
trump
not listen to communicate.
in all honesty, it probably trumps the love part. You know what I mean?
agree.
Alone, let me ask you, when do you feel unsafe sharing your feelings? Yeah.
But see, it's different from a female's perspective. I'm curious to hear what she says. I'm curious.
I feel when the trust is gone.
Ooh, trust. So trust is important.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah.
I totally agree, man.
When the trust is gone, it's like a wall. Like it just start going stack. It just, and you want to protect it. However, you love that person, and you still want to be able to share. But how much do you trust them anymore?
Yeah, it's trust. Trust
It's
is
that
big.
trust.
Rico, do you want to have separate bank accounts, or you want to share everything?
So I told you, I'm a stickler for one main one. You can have a separate one that has, like, let's say 5% of your paycheck goes in there, but majority, but whatever. But majority of the money, majority of the money goes into a single account.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, this is a person you trust that all of a sudden, let's say, for instance, I'm
going back to trust again.
I'm riding here and I'm driving, boom, I wrecked the car.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm messed up in the hospital or whatever, and now she needs to get funds that are in this account that's over
She
here.
has accessibility to it.
Yeah.
Because all my money's over here.
Yep.
Right? And I mean, if you got, at some point when you on this earth, you gotta let your guard down and trust somebody 100%.
Yep.
And if you can't trust a person 100%, then you don't supposed to be married to them.
Let me ask you
But
this.
it's hard to trust somebody when the trust has been broken.
Correct.
And then you're in a marriage knowing that this trust has been broken.
Right.
And you still have to live till death do us part.
That's a different story, right? But like I know we always talk about on our show, we talked about several times about the bank accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you're going into this marriage, and marriage or whatever, right? And or yours is something like a marriage, right?
I ain't in nothing.
Yeah, no,
I ain't in nothing.
you're not looking for a marriage, but like if you're in your ultimate commitment, right? So now you got this lady and you're in the ultimate commitment, right? You should trust her with your money, right? You should know that, you know what I'm saying, she knows how you like to spend your money and maybe you don't buy the most extravagant things, right? So she know that y'all need to talk about if she want to buy certain things and stuff like that, right? You got to communicate. You got to be one, right? Because once you get married, you're moving really as one, right? If you over here, that means she over there too, right?
Okay.
And she over there.
Which leads me into my next thing. So,
right.
all right. So
before you said that, you said trust. Is it harder, and asking a woman, is it harder to trust now men with social media these days? Because me personally, I think social media ruins relationships.
It does. But you know, the thing is it's a maturity thing.
Right.
So if I give myself as an example, I was in a situation where his career or his business was around a lot of women, you know,
That's where I'm at.
so it took me a long time, or it took me to be mature enough to be like, okay, that's your job, your business, you're bringing it home, I'm good.
You want a woman like that?
But it took a long time because, and that's probably not when social media was where it was now.
How long did it take you said?
Well, I'm single, so I don't.
See, Alan knows what I'm talking about.
But
Like,
you know, so that's I can't let you off the hook that easy. Okay, so that's a good question because I was thinking the same thing. So you being a woman, at what point of your age? Okay, because I'm gonna say age because some people are still older and still act like little kids. But at what point of your age should the maturity kick in? Because like you said, you had to realize, okay, he bringing this home to me. Okay, like the best example I give people all the time, take Tank and Tyrese, two of my favorite artists. Okay, both of them married. Okay. They on stage taking their shirts off and doing all kind of stuff, okay? You think their wife at home looking at them like, you know what?
Preach.
I wonder who you with.
Preach.
No, she looking at, okay,
That's
what
business.
he's doing.
That's money.
He bringing his money home.
Preach.
Because when he come home, as long as he buying me and taking me at home, then I know that comes with it because that's what I signed up for.
They probably already at the store like, yeah, I'm gonna get the Gucci bag, take that shirt off, boom.
Right. And look,
I'm gonna get the Louis bag.
He's right.
I mean, they don't care because they know what comes with that. So they already know, all right, this was finna happen. They know girls finna be in their room, girls finna be in their hotel.
But that goes back to what she said with trust. You gotta be able to...
And not even that. It goes back to, yes, this is his business, but I respect my wife that's at home.
Not do it.
Not to wanna have the urge or the, you know...
Alone, I'm gonna be honest with you, as men...
Yeah, exactly.
So
I already know.
So here we go. That leads me.
Hold on, I want to. All I said was ask me.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So that leads me into the next one. All right. So y'all keep that same energy. All right, because we're going into it. How do you expect to cope with your sexual ups and downs, your ebbs and flows of sexuality? Right. All right, because that's what we're talking about, right? Yeah, he's on the road, you know, and he's got women coming after him. So how do you expect to cope with your sexual ebbs and flows?
The adult activities that may or may not occur.
It's got to occur though, right?
But possibility.
So
does it though?
No, it may or may not occur.
I don't think it does.
What's the question?
How do you expect to cope? So
it's a maturity.
Your partner's in the industry.
So if they're in the industry, then 9 times out of 10, their partner already knows it may or may not occur.
Yeah.
So they're already accepting of that, right? Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, when I say accepting, they already know the potential is there for it to occur. So in their mind, it's not occurring, right? Because why? They're living a certain lifestyle. They're getting to go shopping every day.
Man, every girl ain't like
but
that.
That's them. No, but true. While he's there or she's there, right? Whoever's sitting at home,
right. What are they doing?
How do you expect to cope with your sexual ebbs and flows? Your ups and downs.
The person that's at home.
The person that's at home.
Oh, okay.
Once again, what I use sacrifice. Okay, you have to that's something that you have to basically know what you signed up for. Okay, if that person on the road, listen,
you send me a
listen. Believe it or
I was
not,
gonna say toys.
That's what I was gonna say. You better get good with your hands.
One of the professions that I felt like, and it's in my family deep, but I told myself I could never do it. Okay, it's truck driving. Okay, you on the road all the time. Okay. You want me to be on the road and focus and concentrate and think that you're not home doing something?
Yes.
Especially when you have all these sexual desires.
Bro,
I can't do it, bro.
You just like me then. You just like me.
So
see that?
Can't do it.
All right,
so how do you cope with it?
So
How do
you
you
trying to
cope
use
with
that
that?
like she said.
How do you cope with that?
You trying to use that dog got 5,000?
Listen, huh?
Golf got 5,000.
No, listen.
$99.99.
Believe it or not, I'm gonna tell a story without telling the people's names.
Okay, let's go.
I got one too.
Go ahead.
like
I know
This
this
fiction. This is
couple.
fiction.
No, this real. I know this couple. Okay, I know this couple.
Couple
and
A,
listen,
couple B.
the funny part about it is both of y'all know this dude because we play football with him. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay. So the thing about it is he was married to this girl that I know, but he drove trucks.
Right.
Okay. So the whole time you're on the road,
This nonfiction. This nonfiction.
you supposed to be faithful to me because I'm on the road bringing this money in. Okay. One day he comes home, it's storming. I'm blowing your phone up because what? I parked my truck. I need a ride home.
Right.
Okay. Now I gotta walk home because you ain't answering the phone. But when I get there, you occupying somebody else.
Oh, sheesh.
Okay. So my mindset, like I said, it's about having to know how to sacrifice, knowing the end game.
Right.
As my big brother always tell me, the end game to what you sign up for.
Yeah.
So do they still stay married till death? Do they
Oh,
part?
no, it was over, boo. It was over.
Were they married?
Yeah, they was married. They was married.
See,
No, it was over.
now they have to go through divorce. Did they have kids?
No, they got kids too.
So now you got to go through
Child
child support.
support,
If
all
y'all
that.
really love each
Spousal
other,
support.
he's like, look, look.
gotta sell
But the marriage was
lawyers.
supposed to be to
Well,
death
that's
do
the
us
thing.
part.
With child support, you're gonna have to pay regardless.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So you say
That's-
I'm just being
You gotta pay that.
so when
devil's advocate.
if if a man cheats or a woman cheats, is that supposed to be forgiven? Is that supposed to be in that?
If it's
I
death
think
do us
there's-
part.
One part?
I think there are levels to it.
Okay.
Nah.
So
What
because
levels to forgiveness?
Or levels of
Levels to cheating.
right to the forgiveness of
cheating.
cheating, right?
If I'm married,
forgiveness. I think she's talking
there's
about
no
forgiveness.
kissing, there's
You're
no
saying
holding hands.
levels to forgiveness or levels
She
to
said
cheating?
She said levels to cheating.
Levels to cheat. Well, no, levels to forgiveness.
There we go.
Levels
I'm with
to
you.
forgiveness.
I got you.
No, levels to forgiveness.
So it depends
Well, I
on
mean,
how the
if we're
cheating
talking,
was.
huh?
So if it was like
It depends on what transpired in the treating.
Right.
What level of the cheating was
Sending
it?
nudes. Is
Did-
that cheating? Sending
send-
nudes. Sending nudes to somebody. If you're married.
That's a form of cheating, yeah.
So how much forgiveness?
So that's
does
not
that
a level.
cost?
That's
Is
a
that
low level.
forgiveness?
That's low level.
That's a low level.
Yeah, that's low level.
Again, with maturity, I'm sorry.
No, she's
But
right.
again, with maturity.
And then
Because if I'm
Here we go. Yeah.
30 something or whenever I was 30 something, because I'm not 30 something now.
Right. You're good. We got you.
And it happened. I could have been smashing windows, slicing car tires, all that kind. Because I'm, because I'm angry.
No, she talking about the
Because I'm
car.
angry.
Hard times.
and don't actions, responses.
So to piggyback on what she said, okay, I think it comes with, like you said, the nude pictures. Okay, why you sent the nude pictures?
Like you said, the ebbs and flows.
Okay,
Like,
listen, let me say this, okay? Because see, one thing as men that we have to realize, sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture and realize sometimes a lot of stuff that happens, we cause it. Yeah. Okay, so let me use Rico as an example. Okay, because you married. So I'm using him as an example. Okay,
so you're the only married person?
Right, the only married person. So if Rico showing his wife all this attention, then all of a sudden one day he just stops. Okay, but then guess what? Somebody at her job showing her that same attention he used to show her. But guess what? Now, okay, I'm sneaking because text message, today you look nice. Okay, I
Is
wonder
he
what you,
texting her that or the guy at work?
The guy.
At work, okay.
I wonder what she look like without those clothes. Okay, guess what?
That's
Rico
cheap.
ain't paying me no attention. So guess what? The attention that I was seeking from Rico, I might want to just send this one picture.
Yeah, because what he won't give her, she gonna get it somewhere
Now
else.
the comments that I get back, I'm fulfilled.
I'll be back. I'm finna go to the bathroom.
Right.
real
So I think the question was,
snap.
what level of cheating does that
Constitute.
constitute?
So we already know, like, for women, it's an emotional thing,
No,
right?
because okay,
It's
let
an
me
emotional
let me
response.
be.
Wait, no, he's right. I always say men cheat for ego, women cheat for emo.
You say so they cheat because you like, man, I got it.
I mean, as men, we are put.
Wait, Larry.
Men
cheat because
men
we gotta
cheat.
make sure we
again.
Yeah, exactly. No. Wait. Bottom line.
Say that again.
Listen, men cheat for ego.
Right.
Women cheat for emo. So we cheat egotistically because we want to be big dog. Men are put on this planet to breed, to go out, hunt and gather. And this is going. I'm not saying this in any misogynistic kind of way.
Yeah, we're not saying it is right.
But women are, it's in their DNA to, protect and love and gather and the food and warm. So if a woman cheats, it's more emotionally. It's like, like you said, Rico, you ain't told me I look nice in 17 days.
You told me I was
So
pretty.
emotionally, she's gonna cheat. But you're out there like, I don't give a crap about this
So you
girl
saying
on the side. You just
like technically you're supposed to have sex for procreation, right? And like
No activities.
women, they only ovulate was once a month, right?
Right.
So their eggs, what they use is only once a month. We basically millions and millions and millions every single day, right? So are we technically made to
literally, you men have the XY chromosome, women have the XX chromosome. In our DNA structure, the XY chromosome is put on this earth to create.
Right.
We're Adam and Eve was put on here just to. I didn't say it. Excuse me.
But the thing about it, like women, they like once they
replicate.
that's one time, and then you got a what is it, 11, whatever the period is, it's more than 9 months, right? Where they can't do anything. But men, we're still constantly
Right, and also we're looking at this from an American point of view, because if you look at it from like a Hinduism or a Buddhist, they've got 5, 6, 7 wives, and those women are okay with it. And that it's not. They're doing it because it's like, hey, why don't we all come together? She can cook, she can sew, she can do this, she can do that. And
But the crazy thing is that you said that's how, and being the only female on here, I feel
polygamy.
that's the way 2023 is.
That's where we go.
That's where it's at. That's the conversation that you have.
So let me. So before we go down that path, that's a whole nother.
That's crazy you said that.
I promise you.
James, who does the chores at home?
both people.
Both. Yeah. Do we agree on the division of labor in our house?
That's a question. That's a question, right? The division of labor. Like some people do stuff better than others, right? Like, I'm gonna say like I don't like we talking about like when I was getting married, I looked for someone. Part of my thing was somebody that can cook, right? I always say that, right? But then I maybe clean better, like certain things, like I mop the floor, vacuum and stuff that, or whatever, right? And I'm maintaining the yard, whatever, right? So it's a division, but it don't have to be 100% even because some people do stuff better.
Yeah, you can't go into a marriage and say you're gonna do all the cleaning, and I'm gonna do this. Nice, or who's ever better at whatever,
So for me, like I'm single. Like my mom taught me how to cook, clean, wash clothes.
That's me right here. I live alone in my own house. I live self-sufficient.
For nothing. So even when I've been in relationships and I've lived with women, I've always been like self-sufficient. Like it's like second nature. Like I clean, I cook. What you want to eat? We want to go out. We want to. It's nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't have to be like I've been working 10 hours. Like why you ain't got no food on the, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't have to be like that. Like I can cook after working 10 hours because I done been single and I'm self-sufficient and I got to eat anyway. So when I come in after working 10 hours, I can cook. Now if I had to do that like repeatedly, now we finna have a conversation like, look, you beat me home. I shouldn't be cooking. You know
so you're talking about as if you were married.
If I was married. Or if I was living with someone and we was in a partnership.
Like you brought up the story that you brought up about your friend being on the truck driver or whatever. So literally 2 weeks ago, I had to let someone go. I've known this chick for 15, 16
What you
years.
said, let someone go?
Or I had to separate.
Like at a job.
I had to
You sound like HR. You sound like human resources. I'm like, hey, we let somebody
I had to separate. Same thing. I had to separate.
Here's your paper.
Right.
You know what
Writing papers. Keep it
Come to the office, please.
You know what I'm
No, but I had to separate from her because I've known her for 15, 16, 17 years, cool with her mama, cool with her dad, cool with her brothers. Her dad died, her mom died, her dad's old and he's about to be in a retirement home and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I've known her for so long, and she was going down the wrong path in life during the time I was going in the wrong path of life. Now that I'm on the right path in life and she's on the right path, I'm like, hey, why don't you come over? It went from, to a Friday and Saturday, to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, hey, why don't you just let me stay here for the week? So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And legitimately, I'm thinking, okay, we taking pictures. I come home, clothes washed, the bed made.
Oh, boy.
I mean, everything. I'm like, man. So I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, but
You getting tricked.
And it was great too, bro. It was great. And I'm the type. I like a. It's crazy, man. But I like a little. Y'all gonna call me effed up. Look, man. Y'all gonna call me. I like a little crazy. Like one of the sexiest things a girl can say.
Listen,
She gonna go to
I ain't mad at you.
Exactly.
Listen, I ain't mad because I like a little crazy too.
Thank you.
Ain't no wrong with that.
I ain't mad at you. I like a little crazy too.
Right, but I'm the same way. Right. Okay, all right. But what I was saying is, I really got to the point where I'm like, man, why you're here every day, you're cooking, why not just move in? Why not just move in?
Mm-hmm.
And she did that.
Mistake, man.
She did that, and then it was so good. But then it's like, okay, I'm upstairs editing 3 times a day. I'm recording 2 times a day. I'm at work from 9 to 5. And she's like, and before that, she's like, and y'all were talking about, a guy being out and like Tyrese and Tank, like you were talking about. So she's like, oh, you don't have, because what I do is a brand. And if I post another woman on there, I say 20% of my subscribers are women. So if I post you on there, that's moving money. And she's like, oh, I'm totally fine with that. But then once I move you in, you don't ever post pictures of me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was waiting on that.
I'm like, I can't.
Remember I told you about that? What I sent y'all. The girl said, if you know this man in real life, why you gotta know him in social media life?
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Look, my whole
What difference does that make? What effect is that having on your relationship?
Because our argument was like, if you out on trips and stuff like that, and you post a picture of yourself, you in DR, you taking pictures and stuff like that, and then your girl, somebody's with you, and that's your girl, and you don't post her at all.
Man,
But what's the point?
yeah, if y'all love each other, man, I don't see.
Because social media, I don't care what nobody says. Like social media is 2 different things. Like a business, yours is 100% personal, not business at all, right? And so now she is a part of your personal life.
But like she even said with social media, like.
But she's a part of your personal life, and you was worried about saying, hey, if we break up, now I got to get rid of all these pictures and stuff like that. And I was saying, if you're leaning towards she is the one, right? She the one, and we're gonna keep moving forward. We're not going backwards, right? And we on trips together. I'm spending all this time, money, and everything.
At least you can do is post a picture.
Yeah, and I'm on the beach, and I'm taking pictures of just myself.
Let me get it.
You can't get me because you don't want me. You don't want me.
You always going for people, so I got one for you.
Come on.
Who you talking to? Who?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, you talking to Rico?
I like the picture y'all on the beach though.
Right, exactly. Okay, so here's my question to you. Okay, now you already admitted that you messed up.
100%.
Me and you been bored for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we said I don't see the whole 9 years. You messed up all that. Okay, my question to you is: has you not messed up? No, take it back. Had you messed up and not got caught, would you still feel the same way?
Okay, before you answer that, thank you so much for asking that question. Because that's the question I want to ask next, and you about to answer it, right?
Yeah. So
do either of us have any major secrets we haven't shared? Right?
Everybody has secrets.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it came out, right? And it was actually relieving that it came out because I was stressed. I didn't sleep the same during the time. I ain't never sleep the same, right? And so I think I looking back, I know I moved different.
Yeah.
right? So it was eventually gonna come out,
Yeah.
right? And then when I came out, it actually felt better.
When it
Took
came
a
out,
weight off your shoulder.
when it came out, I'm telling you, man. Like I'm telling you, whenever you operate with any secrets, like whenever it comes out and you just get it off your shoulders, it's a huge relief.
Yeah, and
I'll be honest with you, like I'm divorced now, but I didn't get caught cheating. I told her that I was cheating.
And you still felt better.
I felt better.
Yeah,
I got it.
boy.
You get that weight off. You get that weight off.
So why does it cheat?
Hold on.
Oh,
We got a long
Damn,
well,
that's a good question.
that's probably what
Yeah,
it was.
so like the cheating thing, like we was kind of briefly talking about, this is gonna be another topic, right?
Yeah.
But like how we say, like, you know, to me, sometimes women change once you get married, right?
Definitely.
And we kind of briefly talked about, maybe you can speak on it as a woman, right? So as a younger woman, you may have taken birth control, things like that, to keep from getting pregnant, right? And that messes with hormones and all this kind of stuff. And guys, we still run around like we ready to go. And women, you know, you need to put all this crap into your system.
Yeah.
And then you not as interested as you was, because like when we was dating, you was doing a lot of nice stuff.
And alone, to answer your question from my perspective, for me, like I married, I didn't have any kids when I got married. I married a woman that had kids, right? And her mindset was, it's all about the kids first. So 3 years in, I'm like, okay, kids first, everything. You know, she had a big family. I put myself on the back burner. Big mistake, right? Because me putting myself on the back burner allowed her to just focus on her kids, her family, everything like that. And now I'm left out there like I'm carrying this weight. I'm working corporate America.
And then you stressed.
I'm stressed. So where's my outlet?
And then you catch some of that attention that we talked about earlier.
Yes. Right. Yes. So, and it's not right. It's not
I like
right.
your shorts.
It's not right. It's not right. You know. So, but it happens. You know, it does happen. Yeah. So.
And then so you just forgive and forget.
So in forgiveness, we got to think, if you're spiritual, right? Forgiveness is, but you know, you're forgiving that person, but also it's with God, right? You know, you forgive that person for yourself, right?
No, I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But the thing is that
No, the funny thing is you can forgive, but you won't forget.
you won't forget. You don't forget.
That's
your
the
trust thing.
But if you're truly religious, right, he teaches forgiveness, right? And that's really for you as well, not just for the other person,
Right,
but it's
absolutely.
for you, right?
Yeah.
And then again, like you said, you've made that commitment, right? And you know, if both of y'all are willing to try to work on it and not go back to that same place, it can be done. I'm sitting here, and I'm proof of it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
congrats.
I'm so proud of you. I feel like a proud mom.
There it is, brother. Yeah. Yo, really, really good conversation, guys. And you know, I think we come here with goals and everything like that. And marriage is the ultimate goal for most people. You know. And if that is your goal, ask those questions. Like, I think we covered a lot of topics today. Ask those questions. Have those conversations with your mate, right? Yeah. Before we close out, I do want to give our guests an opportunity to just kind of tell us how we can follow you guys. We're so privileged to have you guys on the show. And we just want to be able to follow you guys. So we'll start with you, Alon.
I want to say thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
Me and
for
my
being here.
triple threat buddy.
Yeah.
I am on social media at Instagram at Petals and Pumps, and that's PETALZINPUMPS, which I'm a shoe crazy. And then Facebook, Alon Bernard, and that's it. What about you?
Good deal. Thank you. What about you, Linwood?
Again, y'all, like she said, I want to greatly thank y'all for having me. It feels good to sit down, you know, with brothers and sit down and just talk. You know what I'm saying? And lovely lady. It feels good to
It's
just
been
do
interesting.
that. You guys can follow me on Instagram. It's at Hollywood_6. And you can check me out on YouTube. We put a video out every day, sometimes 3 videos a day at Trash Talkers. just like it sounds, Trash Talkers. Go check us out.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. Very much.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Yo,
it.
so to all of our fans, all of our followers, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys on our next episode of
Peace.
Let it go.